I'm sick, what can I tell you?
That must help.
I work organically, okay? So everything comes from inside. And with every person on the planet is every personality type that there is. You just have to find the Captain Spaulding that lives inside you and bring him out. Put him back at the end of the day, or bad shit's gonna happen, okay? But, you know, that's the deal, that's the way I work.
So we all have a dark side.
Yes.
And you bring
Yes,
out your dark side sometimes for
I
certain
don't
roles.
care, there could be the most peaceful person in this room right now would come up in a situation where they would have to pick up a gun and shoot somebody, and they would do it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. So we all have this inside ourselves, and I guess maybe that's what the horror genre is kind of all about.
Yeah.
Exposing our dark sides and recognizing this dark side. You know, like sometimes you're online at the store and people are being really irritating to you, and you have this fantasy for a brief moment about taking out your chainsaw and killing them all. And in horror movies, we do that.
Yeah. It's somebody, I was doing an interview and they said, you know, why do you think people like horror films? I said, because you get to use your adrenal glands, okay? And it's like anything, if you don't use it, you lose it. And so the best way to get that energy pumped up is either watching a horror film or scary amusement park rides, or, you know, whatever. Gets that blood rushing through you.
It's exciting, yeah. And then I always think of horror as kind of being like evil twin of fantasy, because a lot of these horror films are kind of a fantasy, but they're like this dark fantasy. You know, maybe a fantasy of maybe what we would do to someone else if there were no laws, or if there were no ethics, if there was no right and wrong.
Yeah.
You know? And what we would never do, but maybe we do in our fantasies, maybe we do in our dreams, and then it also embraces our greatest fears. You know, our childhood fears. You know, is there a boogeyman under my bed? Maybe there is. You know, or there's something like that. Sometimes there's scarier things than that living in people's minds.
There was a period of time when I just backed off from acting, like around 92 or something like that, because it just got so boring, okay?
Wow.
And just doing the same stuff all the time. And then, you know, House of a Thousand Corpses came up and all that stuff. And while I took my little hiatus, I had to find a way to make a living. And I had always done a lot of study in psychology, home study, to better build a character. And so I started searching around, and I found this place called Hypnosis Motivation Institute, and it's a college of hypnotherapy. So I, at the age of 59, took out a student loan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and went back to school and got certified as a therapist.
Oh, wow. So you're a therapist too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And the whole clown phobia is something that's really very basic. It's going to your parents taking you to the circus when you're very young, and you see these weird guys with strange makeup on, and they don't talk. And at the end of whatever it is that they're doing, somebody gets hurt. Okay?
Like shot through a cannon.
Huh?
Or like shot through a cannon or a pie in the face. Yeah,
Pie
right,
in the
somebody
face,
gets
slip
hurt.
on a banana peel, whatever, but somebody gets hurt. And that sticks in your head as a little kid. And you carry that through your life, okay? And people have said, you know, I've been deathly afraid of clowns all my life, except when I watched House of a Thousand Corpses. I said, because I talk, because I'm real, okay? And it just takes that childhood fear and pushes it out of the way.
Interesting,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, it seems like it's amazing how many people are afraid of clowns. It's like something that just seems to be so innate in human behavior, but yet clowns exist to amuse children. They become the source of fear for so many people, especially adults.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's such a topic for horror films, you know?
I did a public appearance in a circus in Evansville, Indiana. And the staging area backstage, you know, everybody kind of clear out of the way for things and whatnot. And at one point the guy said, chimps, okay, because the chimpanzee show was next up, okay? and all the clowns started diving into doorways and hiding behind stuff. And I said, "What's going on?" Chimps hate clowns. They try to tear their face off.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, because they're weird. They're scary.
And they're our closest living relatives, so
Yeah.
there you go. So there is something primal about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Sid, would you like to open up the room to some questions from fans?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Sid? Now's your big chance.
Well, number one, I just want to say I'm a big, movie fan. I've seen, when you're single, you watch a lot of movies. But I think one of my favorite scenes in movie history is the end of Devil's Rejects with the song Freebird playing and just going down the highway. Like, as funny as it sounds, it's kind of a metaphor for like life or motivation. Like when you're going through something, just drive right through it.
Yeah.
Just if you want to lose weight, if you want to if you want to be a therapist, if you want to move on, it's like just kind of gives you that motivation to, I just love that scene. I watch all the time on YouTube.
And you'll never listen to Freebird the same way again.
I'm driving to work doing like 95, thinking there's cops in front of me, and I'm gonna go right through them,
Yeah.
But the other thing is, I don't know if you were gonna be in Rob Zombie's 31. Are you in that? Okay.
Just asked if you're gonna go see that.
I was disappointed that he wasn't.
Well, shit happens. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
Are you interested to go see it? It looks really good.
I've caught a couple of stills that I've seen along the way, on the internet. It looks interesting. I don't know. We'll see.
Very cool. Okay, you.
How do you feel about, when you see yourself, as a toy, or you see yourself on shirts, is that,
Like your shirt that you wear.
Yeah, I mean, is it for you, is it really, awesome and flattering for you to, be that's really cool, and, almost a sense that you could say, in a way, I made it to a certain degree, kind of?
Well, I don't know about the "I made it" part, but it freaked me out. Before House of a Thousand Corpses was released, just before it was released, we were doing a panel in Pasadena, Civic Auditorium, whatever. And I see this guy with a Captain Spaulding tattoo. The film hasn't even been released yet,
Wow.
And I said, what are you, crazy? I'm not gonna wash that off in the morning, okay? He goes, "No, man," he says, "I know it's gonna be great. I had to have it." And it was one of the first ones that I had ever seen. And I was kind of taken aback by, that image popping up everywhere. And now I have a different attitude about it. It's like, I'm grateful that people like the character enough to, put it on their body.
Yeah, or wear that T-shirt you're wearing right now.
Wear the T-shirt.
And it shows you affected pop culture, with your performance.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Ed X. Young, what is your question?
I got to meet you when I was working as a film critic years ago, and I wrote a review for a New Hampshire newspaper suggesting that you deserved an Oscar for The Devil's Rejects. And then I found out other critics were kind of rolling with that, and there was some kind of a movement going out in California to get you some kind of grassroots nomination. But I'm wondering about your opinions on the genre you're working in and the lack of respect that the studios have for actors like us who work in this genre and do spectacular performances. I still think it was the greatest performance of the year. You deserved an award for that.
Well, I thank you. Studios just don't get it, okay? Not anymore. It's all the bean counters.